What's the secret code to a successful business? Is it knowledge? Financial resources? Maybe it's just being at the right place at the right time. In this episode, we'll travel to Atlanta to meet Matt Bacak, a legendary marketer who cracked the code just 2 weeks after filing for bankruptcy. Since then, he's used that code to build not only one, but 3 multi-million-dollar companies. He's turned his dreams into reality and shows us that anything is possible if you set your mind to it.
I never want to say I woulda, coulda, shoulda. I want to live an unregretful life. Whatever is out there, I want to be able to say I experienced. I mean, I experienced everything.
And Matt Bacak certainly is living life to its fullest. The son of several generations of steelworkers in Youngstown, Ohio, Matt was taught by his father and his grandfather the importance of job security and a good pension. Yet Matt had been bit by the entrepreneurial bug at a very early age. By the age of 12, he started a paper route and soon expanded that into a lawn care business. His grandfather encouraged his business desires by giving him the Wall Street Journal. His education into the exciting world of business had begun.
I was educated in a little bit different thing, even though not from the school, not from anything else, but I was reading the Wall Street Journal. I was looking at these things. I remember when NutraSweet came out. I remember when Microsoft stock started soaring, and in knowing and looking at these things, and when all these different things started happening, and I could pick. I would say, you know what, that's really going to be huge. But seeing those things and reading that stuff.
Matt developed a competitive side also. He started out playing football, but went on to greater victories in the boxing ring. By 18, he became the Golden Gloves boxing champ, the youngest winner in state and regionals. Today, Matt channels his competitive energies into his businesses.
I've learned to use my mind instead of my fists.
It seems to have paid off very well for you.
So in the game of business, there is no second place, and you play to win. Because the only thing second place is the first loser. There is no other choice. And you think about this. When you step on the field, when you're playing sports, or you step on the mat, or when you step in the ring, when you get in there, and it's funny because when I was boxing, I would sit next to the guy I was fighting. You never know. I sit next to him and I would talk to him like I'm a friend. And because I liked it. I mean, because we could be friends outside the ring, but when we stepped in it, it was over. It was game on.
It was during college that Matt's love for computers and technology really took off.
Doing things, and then in college, I love technology more than anything. It just became another thing, and I just spent all my time, watching stocks, trading stocks, and playing on the internet, and just kind of figuring out how this whole thing worked, and kind of putting in it, just kind of looking at it from that perspective.
Matt traded stocks throughout college. At graduation, he had more money in his stock portfolio than his parents and most people he knew. But then he suffered a huge setback and was forced to file bankruptcy. He lost everything because of overwhelming credit card debt and some bad decisions. But what seemed like disaster actually became a turning point.
I remember the day I walked off the bankruptcy court steps, and I won't say that bankruptcy is the solution for anything, but I will say this. A lot of the thing was just, I realized at that moment, a lot of stuff was just up here. A lot of these things that I thought like my world was going to end that day. And I realized all it was up here. And I realized, another thing is nobody could take they can take whatever they want away from me. What they can't take is what I know. And at that moment, I was like, holy mackerel. And I'll tell you, I all of a sudden I got this huge inspiration. And I was like, I want to go make things happen. And I started taking off, and I started making things happen. I called my dad up 2 weeks later. I said, Dad, I cracked the code to making money. My dad's like, yeah, right. I just filed bankruptcy. Dads are going to be that way. And he's like, and I did. I started figuring it out. And the reason is because I said, if this is what the lowest low is like, then I can't imagine what the top's going to be. And I already felt what the bottom was like. So it's not like I got anything. It's like I already know what that's like. Let's go focus on the other thing. And I haven't looked back since.
Matt realized that the code for making money hinged on making people a top priority.
I wasn't focusing on people. I was focusing on the wrong things. And when I was focusing on the products and what was it, I wasn't focusing on the people. And I realized, it came to the conclusion, and I realized, what are the most successful people in this industry? What have they done? What do they do? And I realized two things. One, they have a list. They have a list of people, and it's people where you make the money. And the other thing is that they had big ticket products. And I realized, these guys, they have big ticket products, and they have, they have, not only that, they have a list. And if I focus on those two things, I could be successful. Because, a lot of people say success leaves clues. And I figured that was a good clue or a good key in. And if I focus on getting people, then I could do whatever I want with them. And that's exactly what I did. I started focusing on building lists, started making things happen from there, because then I could send out emails and make money from there. Or because business is about people, not about anything else. It doesn't matter. It's people buy from people.
Matt knew what he had to do to succeed. To get there, he started by taking one step at a time.
At the beginning, it was, okay, now let me just take care of my expenses. That was the only thing I thought of. But my first goal was to get to $1. Let me just make my first $1 online. Once I make $1, I know it's real. And then after that, my next goal was, let's get to $1,000. Because when I was, in the bankruptcy state, I remember coming home every day. I was like, I'm going to make $1 million. I'm going to make $1 million. I was saying it. I was thinking it. It wasn't happening. A lot of people think about it on this thing. It wasn't happening. And I said to myself, this is ridiculous. And I realized what the deal was. I felt I was getting depressed. I felt that I wasn't doing anything because I didn't make the $1 million. And I realized I need to cheer on the small victories along the way. I need to set smaller goals. So what I did was I said, okay, let me just break $1, and then let me break 1,000, and then let me break 10,000. Then from 10,000 I went to 100,000, and 100,000 let's do $1 million, and then from $1 million let's do $1 million in a year, and let's do $1 million in a month, and let's do $1 million in a day, and I even got one of my goals is to do $1 million in a minute. It's like, but so I started setting those goals, but I would cheer on the victories, and when I did hit those things, when I hit my first $1, I took myself out or did something special, even though it cost me more to do the prize, but I still did something. And then when I hit my first 1,000, then when I hit my 10,000, but all those little different things were like small victories to cheer along the way instead of saying, oh, I'm going to try to hit this pie in the sky thing. But I cheered on the victories along the way to get to my goal. And I think that was that was huge for a lot of people to realize. Like, I tell people the hardest thing I ever did was make my first $100,000. Making my $1 million was easy. It took me, once I cracked the code to make $100,000, it took me less than 6 months to make my first $1 million. But I had to break that $100,000. For some reason, that $100,000 mark was the hardest. Once I broke it, the sky's the limit.
So after 2 months, you basically told your dad you broke the code. You just mentioned again you just broke the code as far as 100,000. So what's the code for making 100,000 online?
Well, well, for me, the easy thing was, it was really teleseminars. Back then, teleseminars weren't that popular. We were doing teleseminars. I would find, all I would do, and how I even did it with my first $100,000, did everything. I had a list of people. And what I did is I sent out emails, I did a teleseminar, and I had somebody on there that knew how to sell, that was a good closer. And that was very important to me, to find somebody that knew how to sell and that had a big ticket product over $1,000. Get them on the call. And when I get them on the call, they sell, and they, when they sell, I get a piece of that, But that was right there. I said, I had the list, I had the people, and I made the money, and I ran all the money, because sometimes people don't pay you. But I did it that way, and it worked. Once we hit 100,000, I said, oh, I just got to do this. I only got to do this 100,000 times, 10 times, and make $1 million. How easy is that? And in 6 months, I just kept on pounding it. And I found other different ways, to make it happen, and everything started piling from there. But the big thing is kind of what I was talking about. Big ticket item and the list, those two things. And if you have the big ticket item, other people have the list. If you don't have the list, or you build the list or however it is. But the list is the key to the whole thing, because, everything that I do is having those people, because you can sell them anything you want.
During this time, Matt found his perfect match, his wife and business partner, Stephanie. After a brief romance, they married and have done everything together since then. With his business sense and her financial talent, they make an unstoppable business team.
I was able to pull him back a little bit when he was going to go too far, but I could have never been that aggressive. So by taking it right to the edge, that pushing it to the limit, pushing it to the point where you go as fast and as far as you can go, just as fast as you can, as aggressively as you can. That's what helped us grow. That's what made him who he is.
I'll write things down on a piece of paper. Say, here's what my gut says. And I write it down and won't show her. I said, what do you think? And she says, and I flip my paper over, said the same thing. We make good decisions. While the world, we've had people, I'm not going to say names, but people have told us, oh, you can't do that. That's not going to work. And her and I knew deep down inside, oh, this is going to work. Yeah. And using that power of our intuition together, nobody can stop us.
Their hard work and great partnership has truly paid off. They have 3 multi-million-dollar companies with offices in 3 different states. When we met up with Matt, we had the opportunity of visiting his newest office.
This is the office. This is a 6,800 square foot location. Whenever somebody makes a sale, they ring the bell. So then the whole office, we kind of created the environment so the whole office will get up and start cheering for that individual. So you'll hear everybody all over the place when you hear the bell, like go start clapping. But in this office, the rule is you can wear whatever you want as long as it's not too revealing. And don't touch the air conditioning unit. You touch the air conditioning unit or do that, any of those 2 things, I'll fire you. This is my messy office, and I did not clean it for you guys just to show you guys. This is what I call Matt's messy desk. This is where a lot of the stuff is a lot of stuff has been created, and I do know where everything is on this desk. All these are all things that people sent me. Sometimes they don't send me once, they send me twice to help promote their stuff. I'll get just stacks of things that come in from Federal Express. People want me to promote and sell. I slept underneath my wing at Oshkosh. It was really fun. I flew into Oshkosh, the biggest air show in the world. Most airplanes in one concentrated area than anywhere else in the world. I did a day where I flew from Atlanta to here in one day, and then speak. Got on the plane that night, flew to Baltimore, and then spoke for Mike Phil-Sam's event, and then flew home that next day. This is pretty much the model. Basically, online, what I'm doing is I'm driving traffic to a squeeze page. But after that's done, then they'll buy a product from us. And the X can be anything. It could be an ebook. So somebody will buy a CD or X, whatever this is. As soon as they purchase that, then we pick up the phone, and an assistant calls them and schedules an appointment with the sales guy. And the cool thing is we'll set up the appointment, and I'll kind of show you 80% of the people that ended up buying these things, 80% of them we'll get on the phone, we'll talk to them. If somebody goes online and purchases a product, if you call them right then, they already have their credit card out. You know? They're by the phone, you know it. They're probably by the phone where they just ordered from. So you know, and you know they're there. So, I mean, it just makes sense, because the hardest thing to do is waiting a couple days, they're not around, trying to play phone tag. So no, we'll call them. Then we'll call them, get on the phone. Either we'll get them on the phone, we'll get them to the sales guy as quickly as possible, or what we'll do is schedule the appointment. But we'll get on the phone with about 80% of the people, and then we'll get on, then over here, you know, some of them, not all of them will stick, of course. Some people don't do that. That's why we will always schedule within a couple days. We don't want to schedule way out because people will forget that. But these guys get on the phone, like our guys, they'll sell them a $5,500 product. They'll sell one every 16. One every 16 people they talk to. Well, the cool thing is this, and if you look at this, whole model here, we can increase the amount of traffic, so that means we can increase this. We can increase the actual page here, so we can increase the conversion on the sales letter. We can increase the amount of callbacks we get and stuff like that, or we can increase the thing here. Another thing most people don't realize is you can increase the conversion by what's said on the CD.
The actual content on the
CD? The actual content on the CD. So where you know, because if the content on the CD leads them to the product you're selling, then it just makes sense. But the other thing, what most people don't see is they draw a line here. And this right here is when somebody says yes to us, they go through our system. They go through our whole system. But when somebody says no, we'll send them a postcard. These postcards are created here in the office. We'll send them a postcard that says, thank you very much. On the back will be a picture of the salesperson they talked to. And there's a thing that says, I really enjoyed talking to you on the phone. You know, and check your mailbox in the next few days. You're going to get a free gift and a big envelope with an eagle on it. So we send them out this postcard. So you say no to us, we'll send you this postcard. We'll send you a free gift. So then the free gift pretty much comes in the eagle envelope. So we send them the eagle envelope along with a copy of the sales letter that we were selling them on the phone, the order form of what we were offering on the phone. We also sent them a stack of testimonials. So we have tons of testimonials that we have coming through, a letter from a customer. So we'll pretty much give them everything. So now what happens is, but we didn't give them the gift. That's our sale. So we sent them a copy of my book. So the free gift's my book, because remember I told you, one every 2 people that reads my book, we sell. Yeah. So let's give it to them. Let's get them to start reading it. They will start calling us to buy. I mean, literally, these guys start getting lazy. I mean, it really is ridiculous. But the reason I did it is because what I keyed in the mind of the individual that we sent this to was a free gift and an envelope with an eagle on it. So now the guy can call back. So we can go back to this whole model here. Now this guy can call back to the nose and say, hey, you know, listen, you said, I mean, anyway, did you get that free gift? Instead of saying, you said no, are you still okay with it? He said, hey, did you get that free gift I sent you? Think about the conversation you're in now.
course.
Oh yeah, he did. And plus, if you ever read Influence or something like that, you know, it's key, it's reciprocating. So we actually cut, instead of, remember, from here it was 1 every 16, at here 1 every 8.
Matt's great financial success gives him the chance to enjoy the lifestyle he's dreamed of for his family and himself. Last year, the Bacacs moved into one of Atlanta's elite country club neighborhoods. Their home is completely custom designed to suit their every need.
This is Madison. She's been held by probably more internet millionaires than any girl in the world. This is my son, Brian. Anyway, we got 2 bars in the house. We got one upstairs.
So what's your favorite drink?
Mine? Oh, Irish Car Bomb, all the way. And this is the kitchen. Everything's supposed to be covered. Like, this is our refrigerator. And I have to do this because they all wanted me to do this. They bought a bunch of Rockstar just for fun. This is our room. Our bedroom is kind of cool. This is our bathroom. Basically, I did have them put the rain shower in. So when I get in there, I turn on all of them and I have it spitting on my back and on my tongue. Take you through the closet. This is my side, and all those right there, I have never worn. I hate that crap. I don't wear ties. I don't like that crap. If they don't accept me in shorts and t-shirts, then I don't go there. That's just the way that it works. Now this area right here is what we call the kids' lounge. So it's where the kids can come and play. As we're about to go downstairs, it's not your typical basement. So this is our theater. Now if you ever watched The 40-Year-Old Virgin, you know those guys playing on the games? I bought 3 of them. So,
yeah, sweet car, bud.
Thanks. So I'll tell you the kind of story from this. Everybody used to tease me. I was driving the same car I had in high school. I had a Saturn, and I got it my senior year in high school, and I told myself I was not going to get rid of that car until I made my first million. So I made my first million, and I still kept the car because I just had like all these memories of going to Panama City and having fun as a kid in college. And so I used to get teased on stage about me driving a Saturn. So finally I said to myself, well, I'm going to drive the car until it blows up. So that's exactly what I did. The car actually cost me more to fix the car than it did to get it fixed. So than it actually cost. So I went out and got this so that they quit teasing me about having a Saturn. I think there's thinkers, there's talkers, and there's walkers. There's people that think about it, there's people that talk about it, there's people that actually go out and do it. And throughout life, you kind of walk through those different things. So, if somebody never moves from the thinker perspective, then and go to the walker or the talker perspective, or it's like they think about it, but they don't ever talk about it. And then if they do talk about it, people say, "Oh, you can't do that," and they believe what everybody says. You're not going to do it. But if you say, you know what, I don't give a crap what you say. I'm just going to go out and do it. I'm sick and tired of this. Because you know what the funny thing is? The naysayers, are the people that are like, well, I don't think you should do that.
So how can you start if you don't have any money? First, set up a squeeze page. You'll need a domain name, a hosting account, and an autoresponder. Deciding on a short or a long squeeze page is an important step.
Well, there's 2 different types of squeeze pages you can have. There's a short squeeze page and a long squeeze page. Basically, a short squeeze page is when you go to the computer, you look on the computer, and on the screen, there is a squeeze page that fits inside that area. That's a short squeeze page. And then there's a long squeeze page when you go look at the page, and you go there, and the squeeze page goes below the screen. I call that a long squeeze page. You have a choice between those 2. It's very important to know that different traffic, that you can send different traffic to both of them. Out of the short squeeze page, what I found through my testing is people that don't know who I am, never met me before, I have no name, send them to the short squeeze page because they don't want to give you time. We live in a microwave society. Nobody wants to sit down and read all this stuff. Like, tell me what you need to tell me and let me get out of here. If the traffic does not know who I am, I find that it works best, so we'll set up a short squeeze page. If it's referral traffic, like somebody refers me, I found a longer squeeze page outpulls the shorter squeeze page. So typically I'll usually set up for this, since nobody knows you, let's just say, and you have no money, you just got time, set up a short squeeze page, a page that's on there, and then basically a place for them to opt in, put their name and email address. You want to bribe them, ethically bribe them somehow, basically maybe give them a newsletter, maybe a free report, maybe an audio, videos work, whatever, give them something.
To drive traffic to his squeeze pages, Matt uses every resource available and is constantly open to new avenues.
For every single niche that I own, I have a squeeze page, but I build a business around it. For every single niche that I'm in, I also have a merchant account for that company. And then also on top of that, and I just kind of build from there. But then all the traffic that I send to this squeeze page, I'll use Google AdWords. I use a Microsoft Ad Center, Yahoo Search. I do articles. I will go and write articles, 500 to 700 word articles, and submit them out there. And we'll take that same article, we'll turn it into a press release and submit it out there. I'll go to Facebook. I'll go to, eBay is another great one we'll do. Go to other people's lists doing joint ventures, affiliates, and send out emails to them, offering them teleseminars, other people's teleseminars, product services, affiliate stuff. Continuity programs, a sales team will talk to them, whatever from there, and that's, that's pretty much kind of, a lot of stuff that we're doing to make happen.
Another important step is writing and submitting articles so that you'll become known in your niche.
Write articles, 300 to 500 words, or 300 to 700 words, really. Write the article, and you need 5 things to make it happen. First, you need a title. The second thing you need to have is the title. You need to have the content, 300 to 700 words. You need to have a bio or a resource box. And in that bio and the resource box is where you're going to put a link back to your page. And then you also need keywords. And basically, these are keywords that if somebody was searching for your article, that you would want them to find the article. The keywords that are not in the article, but the people are searching for. For example, let's say you did how to escape foreclosure. And somebody searching to escape foreclosure, or wanted to find an article on escape foreclosure, or looking for that information, they might be searching online for We Buy Houses. So you wouldn't write about We Buy Houses in your thing. So you put We Buy Houses as a keyword. Somebody searches for We Buy Houses, they could possibly find your article, is what I'm talking about from that. And the other thing you need is a summary. Summarizing, 1 to 2 sentences, summarizing your whole article. Now, once you have that, and you take that article and you go submit the article. There's great places out there to submit your article. You can use Article Submitter Pro. So you want to use like Ezine Article. You want to use Search Warp's a good one. Article Alley. Just really the best thing to do. Just go online, go to Google. Google's your best friend. Go to Google, search in article submission locations. It'll pop up all the places, and just go there and start submitting your article. Now, the question everybody always asks is, okay, I got this one article. Can I submit that one article to all those locations? The answer is yes, do that. Now, the next question somebody always says to me is, okay, but what about duplicate content with Google and duplicate content? First of all, I'm going to tell you, there's more to life than just Google on the internet. Because you got to think about this. Okay, there is a possible duplicate content thing, but have I seen it? No. And it's funny because I think a lot of people do it just to kind of pull you into their world of like, oh, I got this product or the service that you need to get, and scare people with duplicate content. There's a lot of scare tactics out there on the internet. But so go and submit to all of them. Why? Because people read those article locations. People are going there. They have a community of people that keep on going back to these article locations, reading those. So when they read them, they're going to see your link. They're going to click on your link, go back to your page, sign up for your stuff. Plus, those links help pull you up higher in the search engine anyway. So you have that. So articles, great, you got no time. Then take those articles and rewrite those articles. Take them and rewrite the article into a press release format and submit them using free press release submission locations. I'm trying to think, because I usually use PR Web or PR Direct, but I know there's some great free press release locations you can go to. There are directories. Free directories, they will let you go put your link in there. Like, for example, one of the directories, you want to find directories like new-list. It's a directory where you put your news, they call it newsletters, new lists and new newsletters. So you're able to put your stuff on there, put your link on there, put your summary about whatever it is on there. People will click on it and go and sign up for your stuff. There's tons of them out there. Nobody really talks about them, but you can go put them on there. That's going to help you in 2 ways, 2 benefits you get out of it. One, people are literally going to go to there, click on it, and go to your page. The other thing is people are going to go, and not only that, the search engines are going to see your links and help pull you up higher in the search engines. So you're going to get 2 benefits out of this whole thing to make that happen. But I mean, if I had no money, those are the things that I would be doing.
If you got money, no
got
time.
Money, oh God. I would go to Elance, hire somebody to write my article. I would take audios or something I had, some content I already had, give it to Elance, have Elance take it, turn it into articles. And then from there, what I would do is I would give it to, once the articles are done, actually I wouldn't even do it. I would tell the person I hired to send it over to Traffic Magicians. I would tell them to give it to Traffic Magicians. Traffic Magicians will go and take my article, put my article on the internet and submit it out there for me, so I don't even touch that. Then they'll rewrite the article and submit it to all the press release locations. And then they'll take that same article, make PowerPoints out of the article, and have somebody verbally talk out your article, put it together with a PowerPoint, and create a video and submit them to YouTube and all these other locations. I think it's like 31 locations for out there, YouTube, Google Video, Yahoo Video. They'll do all that for you. Then they'll take it and they'll rip off the audio from it, put it into a thing, podcast it out there, iTunes and everywhere for you. And then they'll take that same exact thing and they'll go and turn it into a Squidoo site and take all those things, put in a Squidoo site for me. So I'd have all that done, and all of them are going to be driving back to my squeeze page. They would make it so it all went back to my squeeze page anyway. And then I'd take that same exact, they'll take that same exact thing, and they're going to submit it to a bookmarking sites. I mean, social networking sites. I mean, I would go to them. Then we got Google AdWords. We got to take care of somebody who's going to handle my Google AdWords. So I'd go straight to pay-per-click kid, ppckid.com. I'd have him handle my Google AdWords. Take care of that. Then the next thing I would do is I would go over to, who would I go to next? Well, I got to take care of my Yahoo and my MSN. Who would I give that to? Well, probably I'd give it to Workaholics for Hire. Have them handle that if they're still doing it. On my social networking sites, my MySpace and stuff myself. Or you can get somebody to do that for you, which I do too. But you can have somebody else do that, and so you're on all these things. Everything's working from there. But and I'd also go hire somebody to write my copy for me and get my site up and do all that. I'd find a good direct response copywriter to do it, and maybe get somebody that knows what they're doing and upload it for you and get it all connected together. But yeah, and then you go hire. There's some guys out there that will write the email sequences for you. Now I personally like writing my own email sequences. I like writing a lot of my lot of my stuff. Everything that I do is my own personal content. But it's my articles. Like I use that same process I just told you, but my articles are straight from my recordings. So it's my content that's getting turned into the stuff that somebody else is working on for me.
Once your business is running, Matt stresses the importance of knowing your numbers, specifically whether or not you're profitable.
When you're playing the game of business, you've got to look at the numbers. You've got to know the numbers. And I think it's one thing you kind of acknowledge that I knew the numbers on different things. Why do I know the numbers? Because I'm keeping score. I know what the scoreboard says all the time. Are we here? Where are we at? I want to know exactly what's going on because the numbers don't lie and the numbers tell stories. And it's very important for you to look and know, are you winning the game or are you losing the game? If we were watching the Super Bowl or the basketball game, how do we know who wins the game? We look up the scoreboard and the scoreboard tells us. So if you're playing a game of business and you play to win, how do you know you're winning? You look at the scoreboard. Focus on the reward or focus on the end result. And who cares? I mean, do whatever it takes to get there to make it happen in reason. But but play hard. And you've got to look at the numbers. If you're looking at the numbers, I mean, look at your conversion rates, look at your, how many people you're getting on your list, look at, what conversion, what's your sales numbers, look at your total, what are your total expenses, what are your total revenue, what's your total profit. I mean, the one keys, if you don't know any numbers to look at your total revenue, minus your total expenses, give you total profit. And here's a very important part. When you're playing the game of business, you got to understand, revenue doesn't mean crap. Profits do. It's a game of profits. How much money you taking home? How much money you put in your pocket? Look at your bank account. Is your bank account where you want it to be? I mean, if you're winning the game or not. If you look at your bank account and you say, my bank, every time you don't even want to look at your bank account because it's like it really sucks. Guess what? You lost the game. You're losing the game now. And you got to do something to change it. But if you open it up and you look at it and you say, you know what? This is about where I want it to be. Let me just tell you something. There's a lot more out there. We live in an abundant world. There's so much more money out there, and don't get complacent.
Matt has come a long way, and even he doesn't know where the top is. But for him, it's not about limits or endpoints. It's about setting new challenges and bigger dreams.
I've got some goals over here, like I want to take a company public. I do know that. That's a big thing I've always dreamed of. I said the next time I buy stock, or next time I do anything with stock, is when I take my company public. And I've got a big goal of taking one of my companies public. I want to ring the bell on Wall Street. Just whatever you dream up, just make it a reality. Sometimes it takes money to make some of those things happen. And that's what making money is all about: is spending time with the family, doing what you want whenever you want to do it, having peace of mind, and just having fun.